Today we're going to be reviewing the anime Witchblade. Now, I run things a little bit differently than the average reviewer. I grade a 1 out of scale 10 for summary, animation, characterization, and then the overall plot. And then I total up the score and give you an average letter grade, kind of like high school, but not really. So to start this video off, I'm going to start with the summary by giving you the actual summary of the series, and then what I think the summary should have been, and followed by the. Okay, so the summary used for this anime was Misane Amaha and her daughter Ryoko are on the run from a government child welfare agency that wants to take Ryoko away from her mother. They are caught and Ryoko is taken away. Meanwhile, Misane is attacked by an advanced weapon that has disguised itself as human beings. When faced with danger, a strange light emits from her wrist and she transforms into a powerful being, destroys the weapons, and consequently becomes involved with a power struggle between powerful organizations and her at the center of attention, because she holds the greatest power of them all, the legendary Witchblade. Now, personally, I think the summary was just a little overdramatic. I mean, it starts off as her and her daughter Ryoko are moving back to Tokyo after a huge epidemic of the Great Quake, which destroyed everything and pretty much everyone that was in the way. So then she uncovers that the reason that she survived the quake when she was about 18, 19, is that the Witchblade had chosen her to be her bear, and now she's trying to find a balance between power and ecstasy and ruin. Now that would have been a much more better summary of the thing, but the original summary did get me interested, even though my father is the one that introduced me to this anime, not me. Anyway, so I give the summary a 7 out of 10.
シュッと寸前胸が引き裂かれそう何度も声を上げて Break out It's not over 終わらない夜
Okay, now we're going to begin in on the animation. Some of this animation is just gorgeous. Her transformation, it's nice and simple, but it's still elegant. And then the overall Witchblade form is just, despite the fact she's half naked, is just gorgeous. So for animation, I give it a solid 8 out of 10 because there was a couple characters I'm like, really? You could have done a better job at that. So yeah.
駆け抜けてけ熱い血が体の中を巡る最後に朽ち果てた瞬間
Okay, so now we're going to get in on the characters of this show. I think Misane Amaha was done very well for this show because she doesn't really know who she is or what she's going to do since, well, she lost her memory in the Great Quake. And so she's taking care of Ryoko, she's doing the best she can and doing what she thinks is best for her daughter, like any mother would. She's also not sitting there and just letting government people push her around. She will fight them and she will voice her opinion. Because she doesn't care if she loses her job. She will do what is best for Ryoko, and if that means smack-talking the director until she gets her way, she'll do it. And then Ryoko, oh my gosh, she is so adorable, and she acts older than her age, which I found nice. She wasn't a whiny little kid. She didn't, try and get all the attention. She was actually more of the parent than Misane. And then you have the director, which I thought he's like this grumpy old dude that Misane just always ends up making laugh. And, well, not really laugh, more like chuckle slightly, or check his hairline to see if he's getting grays. And then you got a photography dude that I can't even remember his name. There's an assistant, I can't remember his name, and I can't really remember anyone else's name for that matter. But it's really good. The characters are really good. I just can't remember their names because I haven't seen it in about 3 years. So, for characterization, I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
いつもがうつろな夢のかけらが浮かんでるもう二度と戻れない何も思い出せない
Okay, so now we have the plot, which can also also be called my overall enjoyment of the story. I like the storyline. It's very unique. I mean, the idea of this like object that's been around for as long as anyone can remember and all this stuff, and it's only women that can do it. I find that very empowering almost to women, which okay, that's kind of a biased opinion considering I am a girl, but still, it's my opinion. It's the point of this whole video. Okay, I'm making weird expressions. I'm gonna go back to the review now. Anyway, but besides that, if you took away the Witchblade, if you took away the supernatural stuff, it's still a really touching story about a mother and daughter relationship, which I like stories like that where you can take one element out, can't really see my hand, okay, one element out, and the other element can still make a good plot on its own. And that's what I really like about this series, is it does that, which made me really, really happy, even though I was like 8 years old and had no appreciation for any of this stuff. But it was still really good, and there's a couple little twists every now and then, like you've got these nanogene people, which it explains in the series. You've got these clone blades, which are basically copies of the Witchblade. And then you've got like this whole other twisted thing that I'm not going to get into because I love it. I love making you people suffer and having to watch like the series in order to figure this stuff out. And then it's just awesome. There's also a catch with the Witchblade, which I'm going to go ahead and spoil that catch for you. Well, I guess there's 2 catches. But anyway, because you figure them out in like the first episode, 2 episodes, so it's not really that hard. But the first, you can't take the Witchblade off. Once it's bound to you, you're stuck with it until you die. And 2, the Witchblade tends to kill off its bearers because it sort of makes the user addicted to the power that the Witchblade gives, to the point their body just can't handle it anymore and it breaks down. Now, I'm not spoiling how anything goes, I'm just telling you the rules of the Witchblade. Now, for plot, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 just because there were some filler episodes I'm like, do I really need this? Okay, they weren't really filler episodes, but I was like, get back to the big stuff. But it was mostly focusing on Ryoko and Misane's relationships together, so I didn't mind them that much. But not
もがくほど落ちてゆく声も届かないコントロールできない衝動
Okay, so that's all for this review. As you can see, this anime got a C letter grade. Although it got a C, it's still a really good series, and I highly encourage you to check it out. To check out the first episode, check the description below for a link to the first episode. I'll leave one for subbed and dubbed, depending on how you like to watch it. I based this review off of the dub. For future references, all my animes will be off the dubbed version. Why? I'm lazy. I don't feel like reading subtitles. If I do the sub, though, I will let you know in advance if it is the sub or the dub, so I can tell you my personal preference. Okay, the music in the background is the first opening for Witchblade, and I hope you like it. If you like seeing this face, oh wait, that's copying a different reviewer. Okay, how about, yeah, just subscribe, like, comment, do something. Okay? Until next time, this is Apple Critic.
もう一度感じさせてよこの体熱くなる暗闇で君の名を叫ぶ